And in defiance of the etiquette czars at the White House, you are free here to boo, clap, cheer, or shout at any inappropriate decibel level you choose without fear of being labeled a political terrorist or Klansman. Woo! When we met last year in Texas, we were fending off attacks from Obama water carrier General Wesley Clark. Remember this? Who was deriding conservative bloggers at the time as a quote-unquote right-wing freak machine. You remember? Why were we called that? Because we were exposing Barack Obama's myths of hope and change. Well, we've come a long way, baby. It is true that the left-wing smear machine is now in full overdrive, from the White House to the DNC to the nut roots gathered a stone's throw from here, away from here in Pittsburgh. And it's true that they are waging war on all of the watchdogs, bloggers, talk radio, Fox News, those endangered species of inspectors general left in Washington, all of us. And it is true that they are attempting to redefine vigorous civic participation as disruption. And it is true that they are attempting to redefine our mere existence as an incitement to violence. It is true they are attempting to redefine dissent as hatred, when in fact our dissent is rooted in love of liberty and prosperity for all. They are doing all of these things. They have unlimited resources to do it, including our own tax dollars. But all of that mudslinging cannot mask an inconvenient truth. The era of hope and change is dead, and it only took 6 months in office for them to kill it. But don't just take my word for it. Listen to some of these assessments. Quote, Obama is a master orator and master politician who mainly focuses on his own political victory. No. I think we all want to believe he will bring the change he talked about, but he is disappointing on every direction. Yes. I don't see or feel any change, and there is absolutely no transparency in government. This is not what I voted for. I have been duped! Exclamation point. I suspect there are legions of voters for Obama who feel like they were punked, all capital letters. What I am wondering is why they couldn't figure this out before they cast their vote. The signs were numerous and abundant. All right, here's the great part. This did not come from conservative blogs. It didn't come from my blog. It didn't come from Hot Air. This isn't right-wing extremists who I quoted in my book. No, these comments are from a 700-plus comment thread on the New York Times website, posted in response last week to liberal columnist Frank Rich's column titled, "Is Obama punking us?" Hey, Frank Rich, New York Times commenters, welcome to the Right-Wing Freak Club. As many of you know, when my book launched, one of the appearances I did was on The View. That's right, thank you. I braved the lion's den, and I came prepared, and it was quite fascinating. You can see the clip on Hot Air or on YouTube, and I was stunned by how ill-armed. I was not stunned by how uninformed. I was stunned by how ill-armed and ill-prepared Whoopi and Joy were in response to the book. And as I noted afterwards, after the appearance, you know you've won the argument when all they can do is quibble with you about how corrupt Barack Obama is and not whether. Obama was deified by repeating over and over again on the campaign trail that, quote-unquote, Washington is broken. And yet, under President Obama, the business as usual in Washington is booming. The collapse of the era of hope and changiness demonstrates the first and last law of political physics. As government grows, corruption flows. And this is true whether a Democrat is in office or whether a Republican is. Massive new federal spending, plus tens of thousands of pages of new regulations that no one has ever read, plus unprecedented new powers over taxpayers and the economy, equals limitless new opportunities for sleaze, favor trading, deal cutting, and influence peddling. The president's dwindling numbers of blind faithful may still cling to the belief that he can work miracles, but no one, not even the miraculous Barack Obama, can drain a swamp by flooding it. Now, just weeks ago, the prognosticators in the Beltway and the Manhattan corridor pronounced the Tea Party movement, the taxpayer counterinsurgency movement, dead. Right. Never mind that hundreds of thousands, if not millions, of newcomers to politics now have taken to the streets since February, and their numbers continue to grow. They wanted you gone. They wanted you silenced and out of sight. They wanted you marginalized, demonized, and demoralized, but you prevailed. You have shown the spine and resilience that have been so lacking among too many of our own Republican leaders in Washington. Now, you, the teeny tiny minority of fringe right-wing extremists online and on the streets, have seized control of the domestic policy debate in this country. That is an amazing development. Don't worry about tallying up how many people are attending the Nut Roots conference versus this conference. That is not the metric. The metric is, what is the White House worrying about right now? Are they worrying about the Nut Roots, or are they worrying about you? Who are they trying to silence? Them or you? You have seized control. You have gained the upper hand in the cap and tax debate. You are holding Democrats and Republicans, cap and tax 8, we haven't forgotten you, alike accountable for disguising a massive energy tax as climate change legislation. And on the White House healthcare takeover plan, you have the majority running scared. Think about this. Contemplate this. Democrat lawmakers on recess now are hiding from their constituents in SEIU offices. They are taking sanctuary in children's hospitals. They're phoning it in teleconference calls instead of face-to-face meetings. They're charging voters $25 to attend town hall events for the privilege of hearing Obamacare talking point recitations. And they're stacking their audiences with fake doctors. Thank you, Patrick Frey, blogger at Paterico, for helping reveal this. As well as Che Guevara pimping Organizing for America stooges, all chanting, yes, we can, yes, we can, but you're astroturfed.
No, we have grass stains on our knees.
The role of true bona fide grassroots bloggers and tweeters and talk radio hosts and podcasters, large and small, in this tectonic political shift is invaluable and inestimable. The idea that the town hall protests and the Tea Party movement that sprung up before it was even called a Tea Party movement back in the day before the stimulus bill was rammed through. The idea that all of this was directed somehow from the top down is absolutely laughable. The Beltway GOP only wishes that it could have been as competent and insightful and foresightful to do that.